Hello, welcome to Data in the Classroom. We use NOAA resources to bring scientific data to life. My name is Kayla DeCudo, and I'm the Communication and Outreach Specialist with the NOAA Office of Education. My colleague Beckett Lampe helped me prepare this presentation, and today I'm going to be explaining the different types of data resources that NOAA has available that might be especially useful for educators. You can find all the links in this presentation at noaa.gov/nsta-engage-20, so no need to scribble anything down or take screenshots. First of all, what is NOAA? NOAA stands for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. We're a federal science agency, so we're part of the U.S. government. Our tagline is Science Service Stewardship. When people think about NOAA, they think first about our science work and how we predict changes in the climate, in weather, in the ocean, and in coasts. Then we share that information with others as a service. Finally, we focus on stewardship by using our knowledge to protect people and the environment. So now that you know about NOAA, let's talk about that data. NOAA has petabytes of data, and 1 petabyte is equal to 1 million gigabytes, in case that's a new word for you. NOAA has tons and tons of data available in many different formats, and nearly all the data that NOAA collects is freely available for anyone who wants it. NOAA collects data from the land, from the ocean, from the atmosphere, and even from space. So how can you use NOAA data? These are a few ways to incorporate our data into things that you're probably already doing in your classrooms. All of our data and resources are available for free on the internet and can be used for in-person or distance learning. You might be thinking, does this fit into my curriculum? The answer is, it most likely does. Here are just a few examples of subjects and themes you might be working with that you can incorporate NOAA data into. NOAA Education has a website where you can find most of these resources all in one place, and you can do that by going to noaa.gov/education, clicking on Resource Collections, and then all the way at the bottom, we have a section called Data Resources for Educators. The data resource collections look like this. They're organized by the categories Classroom Ready, Easily Accessible Resources, and Looking for More. Classroom Ready resources are lessons using NOAA data that are ready to go. Easily accessible resources are data sources themselves. They don't require too many clicks or too much work to understand what you're looking at. And then we have a section called Looking for More. Some of NOAA's data is a bit complicated to understand, or it may be really raw and technical. So these may require a little more effort on your part to bring this into your class. So now let's take a look at some of our favorite resources. First up is Data in the Classroom. I borrowed the title of this website for this presentation because it's really one of our favorites. This website has 5 modules on different topics, and you can choose to do one, several, or all of them. Each topic has a scaled learning approach, and it starts at a really basic level, like learning how to build graphs, and it builds up to the final level where students can design their own research question and use NOAA data to answer that question. If your students are ready, you can go quickly through the early levels, but you also don't have to. If your students aren't ready, you can stop before that step. It's really flexible for what you want to do with your students. Climate.gov has tons of maps and data available. They're very visual and easy to look at. There are also lots of modeled data available. And they also have a really great climate data primer. If you're just getting used to using climate data, this website will break it down for you and help you prepare to work with it. Next, the National Data Buoy Center is a really cool and straightforward one to use. There are hundreds of buoys across the globe, including some in freshwater. Just go to this website, click on a buoy, and see that buoy's data page. As an example, you can track water temperature changes as a hurricane passes over a buoy in its path. It can be really interesting to see how the water temperature drops dramatically as the hurricane passes over that buoy. The Science on a Sphere Explorer mobile app is available on Android and Apple devices, and it's a free download where you can view global and planetary data. In the app, you can bring the original 6-foot Science on a Sphere experience into the palm of your hand, which is really cool, and there are actually some things available on the app that you can't experience with the sphere itself. Next, the National Centers for Environmental Information, or NCEI, is the world's largest climate data archive. There's a lot available here, but if you're looking for weather or climate data that you can't find anywhere else, it's probably in here. If you're having trouble with NCEI, you can contact them at the top of the page. Finally, let's talk about citizen science and how you and your students can become collectors of data. Citizen science is also known as community science or community-based science. In citizen science, your students can participate in the scientific process and address real-world problems while working with scientific data that people are studying right now. You can find all federal citizen science opportunities at citizenscience.gov. So those are the resources I wanted to share with you today. I hope you learned something new and that you're excited to work with more data. As I said before, you can find all the links at noaa.gov/NSTA-engage-20. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at education@noaa.gov. Also, please follow NOAA Education on social media. We're at NOAA Education on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day.